here, and we are going to open up the line of questioning with Joey Kaufman with the Columbus Dispatch. Joey?
Pete, how did you, obviously with Barron kind of sliding over more into the inside against Michigan State without Tough, how did you think he did, and what was it like kind of playing with Barron there?
It brought back it kind of felt like our little nickel package, but it felt good. Barron and I have a close relationship, so we're excited about it. He's a hell of a player, and he transitioned very quick to playing that Mike role. That started that week of practice, so we were very excited how he played, and I thought we played well as a group.
And just wanted to ask for you, what will this senior day be like? In most years, you typically would have your family on the field. There'd be a big crowd. What are you kind of expecting Saturday to be like?
I'm not really sure yet. I don't know. I just know in years past that it's been pretty cool. Having all the fans cheer for you, it's kind of showing your respect for what you did on the field. Being a Buckeye, it'll obviously be different without the fans, parents and everything, but I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, it's crazy to think you're a senior now. You feel like it was just yesterday. You were watching other guys on the team walk down and see their families.
Thanks.
Next up, Brendan Gulick with Buckeyes Now on Sports Illustrated.
Hey, Pete, thanks for taking some time with us, man. Hey, curious about what it was like this past week when obviously you guys had an idea that, before we did, it was public information that things were going to be, severely shorthanded. You had a lot of guys out. What was practice like? What was the level of attention and focus like when you realized that, hey, this is going to be a different looking group out on the field against Michigan State?
Yeah, so starting last week on Tuesday, everything ramped up. We knew the importance of everything had to be at a higher level. Obviously, with important guys out, other guys had to step up. But the thing that is very nice about Ohio State is that the guys behind these great players are great as well. And that's through recruiting and everything like that. And just I credit the coaches for that. And the week of practice was big. Energy was high. And it was one of our best weeks of practice. Heading up to Michigan State, but I just credit the coaches, everybody, the passion, energy, everything that we had during the week was great.
Thank you.
Next up, Spencer Holbrook from Letterman Row. Spencer?
Pete, when you guys go through what you went through this year with being on Zoom for most of the summer, did you guys do a Michigan period through Zoom? Because you guys couldn't be on the campus very much. Did you guys do a Michigan period there?
I don't remember personally doing that, but I remember watching film on them, just stressing the importance of them. I mean, you talk about meetings and meetings and meetings through this off-season quarantine. We're still watching film. We still had to do workouts about them, like on our own. So the coaches trusted us that we did that, which is kind of weird, but we did it, which is just weird to reflect on. But yeah, that's probably all I got around that.
So you've been in the program a long time and you know exactly what this rivalry means, but to have to do those workouts on your own and still make them revolve around that, did that just like heighten it to a new level even for you as a guy who's been around forever? Yeah,
I mean, I knew we were going to do something. We practice for this rivalry every single day. We live about it every single day. I knew it was going to play a role in quarantine.
Next up, Patrick Murphy, 24/7 Sports.
Pete, we talked to Justin, we talked to Wyatt, both guys that are from states farther away from Ohio than you are. But you're not a kid who grew up in Ohio. I'm curious what your perspective on this rivalry was growing up in Indiana and how it changed once you got to Ohio State.
Yeah, I didn't know about Ohio State at all, except going through recruiting. I wasn't a fan, didn't really like them that much. But now since I've got here, you really have to appreciate the rivalry. everything that goes into it. It's just insane. It's just really, really crazy to think about everything that we do every single day, all the work that's put in. At this point, I'm a senior. My freshman year was overwhelmed, but now I live about it. I'm about that, you could say. So it's just weird to think now. Now I just think it's another day. Like, let's go. I know what we got to do. My freshman year, I was overwhelmed. Like, wow, this is insane, especially going into the week of playing this game. But yeah, we know what we got to do, and we got to stay on the right path and be physical.
Is there a moment that stands out from your freshman year where it was like, that's when I knew what this rivalry meant?
Yeah, just going there and running down on kickoff. I was running out on the field, and it was wild. I mean, playing there was unbelievable, especially that whole week of practice. And even through recruiting, they stressed the importance of it. But going into that week of practice, hearing the same song every single day, and having the different periods of practice relating to this game, that's when I realized, like, wow. And I actually loved it my freshman year running down on kickoff, which was pretty cool.
Thanks, Pete.
Next up, Tim May, Letterman Row.
Yeah, Pete, with that in mind, how different is this week? I mean, because you're sitting here, you got to be thinking, we're going to play Michigan, probably. You know what I mean? Or as you say, the team up north, probably, et cetera. Is anything seem to be missing this week? Just give me your take on that.
Yeah, obviously there's speculation, but we can't think that. We got to go in this week knowing we're going to play a game. We're not going to prepare for it any different at all, and everybody on the team is going to have the same mindset going into this week, and that's going to be the key. Because if there's one switch and everybody has a little doubt about this game, then it's not going to go out well. We got to have everybody on the right track. We got to prepare for this game harder than we ever have, and that's going to be the key.
Yeah, and Barron in particular, he seemed to play very disciplined in his position moving back into that mic and stuff. What did you notice that too? And just how heartened were you by watching him? Obviously, he's played all year at the other spot, but just the progress he's made from this time a year ago in that regard.
Yeah, I credit the kid, and he's worked so hard in this offseason. He's done exceptional at the same spot, and making that switch is not easy to do. But he did, and he took that role very well, and he played well, and we were very happy with him.
Thanks, man.
Next up, Clay Hall, WSYX Channel 6. Clay?
Yeah, Pete, I guess it's similar to what was just asked. How do you know it's Michigan? I mean, the season's so different. The dates are different. Is it just the adrenaline inside you? What told you, hey, it's Michigan week?
We've been having some clock counting down the days until we play this team. I mean, we know when we're going to play this team. We know. I mean, I always know when this team is coming up. So it wasn't just a little time notice. It was something that's been marked on our calendar for a while. So we're ready for it. I mean, we've been thinking about this game, maybe even during times where we're playing other teams. So it's just one of those.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Time for a couple more questions for Pete. Next up, Austin Ward, Letterman Row.
You've played thousands of snaps next to Tough and hundreds of hours in meetings. What has it been like? What was it like to play without him on Saturday, or to not have him around for practice the last week or two?
It was tough. I mean, he's the leader of the linebacker room. He's that guy that you count on, that you learn from, and it was weird. I mean, I've been with him every single practice, and he's a guy that doesn't take reps off. He's always there, always practicing. It was just a weird thing. He's not injured like that. So it was just a different feeling, but then somebody's got to step up, and that's what we did. And we're happy to get him back. But yeah, it was tough. But then again, we're still having communication with him. Just because he's a guy that you learn from, whether that's through film, anything like that. And we stayed in touch, and I'm just happy to see he's back.
Thanks, man.
And final questions for Pete coming from Bill Rabinowitz, Columbus Dispatch.
Actually, Jerry, Austin asked my question, so I'll let somebody else ask a question.
All righty. Next up, Jeremy Birmingham, Letterman Row.
Hey, Pete, being a fellow Indiana guy, do you remember the first time you saw DeJuan Jones and what your reaction was?
No, but I was making the joke with a bunch of the guys on the team, like, what is this Michigan State game? Like, what is he gonna think when he sees this dude at tackle? And I mean, it's obviously hard to picture, but no, I didn't see him in high school at all. He was injured for the game I played senior year against him when he was a junior, sophomore, or whatever. But yeah, he's just a big dude, man. He's a hard worker too. He can move.
Can you
so.
talk about how different he is right now as a functional offensive lineman compared to what he was when he arrived on campus a year ago?
Yeah, so as far as physically, he's obviously can move a little bit better, but his mentality, I'd say, is the biggest difference. I mean, he was kind of a guy that kind of went through the flow. I don't think he was very committed about this place. But then again, flipped the switch and had a great offseason and really got things together and competed for that spot at tackle. But he's just a big guy. I mean, obviously, we're going to use him a ton. So I'm happy for him.
Is he always on your team in basketball?
The coaches try not to let us play basketball, but if he was on first captain, that's who I'm going to.
Sure.
Yep.
All righty, Pete, thanks so much for your time. Have a great afternoon and a great week of practice. Really appreciate you.
Thank you.